Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of the best mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3's Mod Manager. We got some really interesting stuff this week, like new custom rarities with the colors mod here. In addition, we also got some new Scurvy outfit mods, creative mode for Baldur's Gate 3, pack rats, Astarion's early access gear, the witch mod remastered, and much more. Now, Colors the Custom Rarities by Forstmourne here is really cool. This is a framework so that future modders can add in new rarities to the game with different colors. And this is actually already in a mod if you have the dynamic enemy encounters here by Graphic Fade. And the cursed items from that mod will have a custom colorway here, which I think is really cool. So on its own, what this mod does is it's a dependency, so future modders can make mods that have items with unique rarities. I always really enjoy that in games. I know people that are playing Borderlands 4 recently when they added in pearlescent weapons. Really fun stuff to have different types of rarities, super cool. And if you're a modder watching this video, you can actually use this in your own mods, and they just want a bit of credit here. Just linking colors in the description and putting it as a dependency, as it's obviously required to have the custom rarities here, but this is a sign of what's to come. And Forstmourne has made a lot of really cool mods lately, like the loadout swapper, safe travels, moving your camp, choosing your camp, or should I say moving spawns, the friends with benefits, and much more. So I highly recommend checking out their mods. And next we got the Aesir's Champion set here by Scurvy. This armor set is amazing, and there are multiple of them here, as you see on my character and on Shadowheart. And for some reason, my camera is really far-sighted, so I can't really get close-ups of these today, unfortunately. But in this pack, there are 60 different items here. So you have the Valkyrie chest, the Bifrost, Maiden, and Trickster. I have the Maiden on my character there, and Trickster is on Shadowheart there. There's also the Pillar chest. There's weapons you can have one-handed or two-handed, and they're progressive as well, alongside a die. And you can see here the Aesir Battle Axe, really cool. I like Scurvy's weapons a lot. I'll just quickly mouse over the different abilities that are on these armors here, so you can just check those out if you're curious. And I can't really show some of the outfits on YouTube here, and for some reason when I try to show this one, Shadowheart disappears. So that's what the Trickster set looks like there with the cloak, because I can't show that one there. But I really like these armor sets, and they have a few different versions as well in camp clothing too. So again, that's the Aesir Champion set here by Scurvy. Next up, we got Pack Rats by Von Smash. The creator of the Blood Rager class, I'm a big fan of this one, but with the pack rats here, basically these rats will just go around collecting loot for you. Now there is like a mod you can get in the tutorial chest if you want to access this from the get-go, but you can also find them throughout Act 1, and there are a few different pack rats here with different names. And by using the items or finding the rats, you got your different summons here, which you can toggle on. So like the Graveyard Rat, for example, has that coffin on its back, and it's going to pick up items and drop them for the others. There's like the Ravenous one here, which is going to summon and look for food and meat and camp supplies, and it'll actually butcher the corpses so you get more of them. It's got a funny appearance there. The Rat Burglar is going to look for different types of traps and things like that, and you can see a little bag on his back. And it'll look for all their types of gold. And you see this rat was running around actually picking stuff up. And there's also the Lab Rat, which will have a 50% chance to double the yield of ingredient extraction. So yeah, I think it's really cool because you just have a bunch of rats going around picking up items for you, and it's a very immersive mod. So definitely go check out the Pack Rats. It's a really fun one. Next, we got Astarion's Early Access Starting Gear by Hyperspace Towel. So this is really sweet because typically you don't get access to the armor from for like early access, but this mod not only does that, but Hyperspace Towel reinvents an outfit here because these boots are just atrocious. But yeah, there's the early access, the default padded, and the pale padded, which comes with some later boots there. Now this version is a replacer. There's a non-replacer version, and it'll also put these in the tutorial chest so you can summon them in and wear them on your character if you'd like. But love this type of mod, and this is by Hyperspace Towel. Next up, we got the Nutos 123 Witch class updated. This is one that I was a big fan of when it originally dropped back around when the mod manager first came out, and this is a new one with the Hagbound subclass. Now there are new spells included in this. You got things like the Pincushion Necromancy Cantrip, which applies mental fatigue and does piercing damage on the target. There's also Witch Form Cat and the Arcane Blade, letting you use your attack rolls or spellcasting ability for attack rolls, so you can do kind of like a Gish build. Lesser Create Water, Shillelagh, a few different cantrips here. But it's the 6 different subclasses. So we got things like the Herbalist, my favorite, the Frost Witch, focusing on cold damage and getting resistant to it. The Hex Witch, which is kind of like a debuffer. The Witch Blade, the Gish style class, focusing on melee and getting extra elemental damage types onto their attacks. The Invoker, and the new Hagbound subclass, which is more like a melee attacker. So yeah, I will be probably doing a future video on this because this is one of my favorite mods from a while back, and I'm happy to see it now back by Nuto123. Next we have Glaive Sneak Attack Fix. I like little mods like this that just restore certain things to the game, because you can actually sneak attack with the Glaive, but it doesn't get any extra special attack animations. This does it so it does the power animation for the Glaive attack, as you can see there, where you jump up and it's kind of like the smite, which would make sense if you're doing a sneak attack that you're going to do something that hits hard. And there is a finesse Glaive in the base game, so this is a nice fix. Next up, we got the Sarevok Set here by Inns Grayer. This is an interesting one, especially if you're a fan of the previous Baldur's Gate games. And this is the armor set that I have on Gale here, so yeah, it looks really nice. And there it is with the helmet. So with this, you also get access to the Wretched armor here. When you deal necrotic damage, you get a 1d6 of temporary hit points, and if a melee attack hits you, you deal a 1d6 of damage to all within 3 meters. You gain 1 murderous strike with an attack in combat. And with that, it's actually a very powerful attack. The Deathbringer Assault here does a 5d10 of weapon damage, then a 5d10 plus a 5d10 plus a 5d10. It is the ability that he does get in the base game itself. It's really cool. You also get, obviously, his gloves and the boots there, which are pretty strong, getting freedom of movement and long strider advantage on attack rolls against humanoids and the aura of murder. Now you can get this armor set right from the start of the game, but they also have the Sarevok Set attribute growth, so you unlock certain skills as you level up, and it's going to have a negative to your armor class, so if you use this early on, you're penalized for it, which I think is really cool. I'm trying to look through my tutorial chest for the 4th time here to look for some items, so I may have to talk about some things without them appearing, unfortunately, in game, as I may have to reinstall this game. But I don't want to miss out on showing off a really cool mod, like the Twin Verdicts Twin Longsword set here by Nevity. Now, what's sweet about this is you got the Selune Longsword here, which does additional radiant damage, and it can apply the Shattering Light condition, which gives disadvantage on attack roll and reduce sight range until the end of the turn. But in addition to this, you also have the Umbral weapon here, which has the Scales of Runes, so when crushing weight lands on a target carried by that has the Sundered by Light, the collision releases a 2d6 of radiant and force damage, and must do a Constitution 16 DC saving throw or be knocked prone. So you can give negatives to their attack rolls as well as give disadvantage on attack rolls with both of these weapons, and they look really sweet. So yeah, this is the Twin Verdicts Twin Longswords. Next up, we got the Dolor Amarus Bladesinging by Wiznats. Now, this is something that bothers me because I love playing as a Bladesinging wizard, and I like the Dolor Amarus. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, in its code, the Dolor Amarus doesn't actually count as a dagger. It's actually just a weapon without a tag, so that means that it doesn't work for a lot of different things. Unfortunately, like the Bladesinging wizard, this now restores it and it gives it the weapon dagger tag. I actually looked in the modding toolkit and looked into this myself because I thought that was a little weird, but yeah, that is a nice mod to fix it. Now, another thing that needs fixing is Isobel's survivability, and this Overhaul mod by Kobold Junel does exactly that. Are you tired of Isobel having a death wish and running into infinite opportunity attacks while only having 11 AC? Say no more. Isobel now remembers that she is a level 5 cleric and has mage armor in her robe. She'll have mage armor and Shield of Faith alongside Sanctuary on her, and she'll have her normal shield with a +2 to AC, which will take it from 11 up to 18, where it really should be. Isobel, my dear, you are a half-elf and a cleric. You should know how to use a shield. So yeah, this just gives her so much more survivability that she desperately needs. So yeah, this doesn't change any of her stats either. It just makes her work smarter in combat. Next up, we got Gloomy Hair Shart's Edits Hairstyles for CC by Sweet Generous Things Mods. Now, I've covered a few different mods like this. I'm a big fan of this, as this adds in another really nice new hairstyle to the game. And I would love to show it off up close, but I don't know why this is happening. But this is what it looks like. I'm using this one here, this hairstyle, and putting some different highlights in it. It actually works very well with the highlights, and these hairstyles all look really nice. So I would definitely recommend checking out the other Sweet and Generous Things mods, especially their edits to Shadowheart and their different hairstyles in the Darling Face. They put a lot of really great mods lately, and the Moonflower hairstyle is what I have currently on Shadowheart here. So if you're wondering her hairstyle, this is from this Moonflower mod that I covered last week. Now, do you guys know that I stream every single weekend? Well, I'm getting a lot of comments being surprised about that, but I unfortunately don't stream on Twitch, but there are Twitch items that you can actually get in the game, and this now enables them. You may already have a mod that has this if you have Fear Taylor's Camp Clothing mod, because they have the Twitch outfits in there. It's just some different types of purple outfits that match Twitch's colors. There's a lot of other games that do similar things like this, and you can now get them in the tutorial chest by Midnight Court here. And next up is the Faerun Fashionistas Mega Post Pack Patch. This is a compatibility patch that allows you to use the Faerun Fashionistas Mega Pose Pack. Patches all individual mods that are currently included in that Mega Pose Pack in the event that you don't want to have all of them. I use the Faerun Fashionistas Mega Pose Pack. It is amazing. It has so many different poses in it. This lets you do, if you want, like different pieces of it without having a ton of photo mode poses in there. So these are the ones that are all included in this. And there's also the Not Safe for Work version. And here are a bunch of different pose mods that are not included in the Faerun Fashionistas Mega Pose Pack, but you can use them with this patch to make sure that you're able to see them all. You must download these mods separately and place the patch beneath all pose mods. This includes things that I covered even last week, like the real hot girl poses. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I love seeing different types of mods like this because photo mode works a little differently, and any type of mod that helps out, it's really nice. This is by Echo 20 and Faerun Fashionistas Mega Pose Pack. There's a lot of people that worked on this. And here's all the names of the people. Next up, we got Castelvania Savepoint Die. I'm a big Castlevania fan. I love seeing different types of crossover mods like this. This is by Luxperviance here. As you can probably imagine, they're a big fan. And now you can play with this cool dice mod here. So yeah, I love this. These are based on the save points from Castlevania Sympathy of the Night. Really cool. So yeah. Next up, we got some class mods. The Guardian class mod inspired by Guild Wars by TLH_mod. Now the Guardian here, based obviously on Guild Wars here, has 3 distinct subclasses with Justice, Resolve, and Courage. Now we'll go over this class in a future video because there is a lot to uncover here. So here's the core features that are available to all 3 subclasses. Here's the Justice subclass features, the Resolve subclass features, and Courage. Now, Courage is meant to protect your teammates and kind of plays like the cleric-ish version of the Eldritch Knight. The Resolve is more like of a healer focus and somewhat similar to like the Life Domain Cleric, although obviously these are all their own distinct things. And the Justice Core, similar, also kind of like a cleric-based Eldritch Knight in a sense. But one thing that I really do like about these mods by TLH_mod is that not only is it really fun to play in combat, but these mods also have great outside of combat viability. Like Justice getting access to intimidation as well as using their intelligence score for certain roles. So really fun and definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of Guild Wars or if you just want to have something that's fun and tanky feeling and kind of it's well balanced as well. So the Guardian class there by TLH_mod. Next up, we got the Circle of the Sun Druid subclass. I messed up last week, so I want to cover it here again. So this is a Druid subclass, and with this, you got Absorb Radiance here. So when you end your turn in Sunlight here, you're gaining temporary hit points equal to your Wisdom modifier. And once you gain those temporary hit points, you cannot get them again for 10 turns. So the focuses here are on radiant damage, giving yourself the radiant beam here, as well as fire damage. So a nice combo of those two. You got Ignite Flame here, which does a dexterity save, and you can continually keep calling this down every turn, and the enemies that'll start their turn or end it within it will take that fire damage as a concentration. And you can use your Unleash Radiance here as a bonus action, using your Wild Shape charge to gather in sunlight, then do a blinding flash within a 6-meter radius, which makes the targets do a con save or become blinded. This is great because radiant damage does so many fun things in Baldur's Gate 3, and combining with fire damage, which is obviously more damage focused but highly resisted, it's a nice synergy. You got 2 different powerful damage options. I like the Spellfire Sorcerer, which is new from the new D&D, and this is a great one for if you're playing as a druid. And there are some really cool VFX for this mod here. So yeah, you can see a big fiery explosion there. You also have a fiery form that you can take on here. So you can go ahead and I guess there's another fiery attack. And there's the fiery form, which you get at level 11 there. So yeah, the Druid Circle of the Sun, I will likely do a future video on this, covering in a bit more detail. And next, I didn't have a chance to go over this one, but I want to cover it because I've talked about eGroovy's other mods from the Crooked Moon. This adds in 15 unique subclasses alongside 25 new spells, all from the Crooked Moon here. This is by Avantris Entertainment. So, in a brief nutshell, I'll go over these in a future video as well, but they got the Grateful Patron Warlock, the Warrior of the Pestilent Haze Monk, Sinner Rogue, Philosopher Wizard, Path of Experiment Barbarian, Occultist Wizard, Horned King Patron Warlock, the Harvest Domain Cleric, Grim Harbinger War Ranger, Crimson Sorcery Sorcerer, College of Whistles Bard, Circle of the Wicker Druid, Circle of the Old Ways Druid, Oath of Castigation Paladin, and Barrow Guard Fighter. And here is a large list of all the unique spells that come with this mod. A very cool one. And again, I'll have to go over this in future detail just because there's so much going on with this mod and it is really well done. Great for fans of the Crooked Moon. So yeah. And finally, we also got the Forstmourne weapon here. This is another one that was not showing up for me in my tutorial chest, but this is, obviously, if you know the Forstmourne great sword. comes from World of Warcraft. So this is a weapon that has chaos damage and then also additional cold damage. So it does a 2d6 plus 6 force damage and then your additional cold damage there. There's a bunch of different passive abilities and different spell attacks that you can do with this. And you also get the Unholy Aura here, which can heal and increase movement speed for your teammates. So yeah, this is one that is really sweet, and this is what the sword here itself looks like. And again, if you're a World of Warcraft fan, this is one you probably want to check out. This is again by Yoon Moon Sick. Now going into Nexus mods, we actually have a lot of cool stuff here. Now first is the creative mode by Interested Ninja. And I'd love to show this for you guys. You have to have the mod configuration menu downloaded and installed. I'm having weird issues with my game here, but what this does is they actually laid it out very well, is you can spawn in any equipment, including any modded equipment, through the menu itself. As you press insert on your keyboard and it pops it up. And then you have this nice, clean, handy menu here that you can just go through and spawn in those items. I use the script extender, but this is a lot easier. It has a nice interface here. You can spawn in NPCs. You can learn any spell that you want. You can create infinite potions. Teleport anywhere on the map, literally anywhere. And there's a ton of different spots you can spawn into. You can recruit any companion just at will. And yeah, this is just a nice mod for those that, you know, and play through number 100 and just want to skip out on certain things. Or if you just like creative modes, this is by Interested Ninja. And next up, we got the couple and friendship poses for body type 1 by Haster's Queen here. And this is a really sweet one. I always enjoy seeing their types of mods. And I'm just going to go through their shots because they capture some sweet stuff here. Yeah, lots of really sweet photos or poses here that you can use. And sorry if this bit's really choppy. I just have to look ahead and make sure that I can show the poses. But yeah, this is a really sweet mod and you can take some really cool shots with it. So yeah, there are 12 different poses, and Haster's Queen will likely add some more potentially in the future. We also got Kodak Moments Timeless Edition poses by Tina Balducci here. This is another really sweet mod. I'm just going to go through their shots. They did a good job showcasing it. So you get different lift and jumps and carries, reunions, A, B, and C. These literally feel like, I thought this was a picture from real life. Incredible. So just go through their different shots here. Really sweet stuff. So yeah, Kodak Moments by Tina Balducci. And we got the Luxperviance Shadowheart Selune tattoo. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that. This is by Mooch30, and this is I'm having the invisible arm issue for whatever reason, so I wasn't able to perfectly showcase this. I have it downloaded here. This looks really cool. So Shadowheart with tattoos, it's great, and that's what they look like up close. I guess I wouldn't be able to really show it here today. I got the farsightedness, but it's really sweet. I love different types of tattoos here, and this actually feels like something Shadowheart would rep. And this is meant to build on top of this mod here by NZX here, the Shadowheart concept art tattoo, because Shadowheart actually had tattoos in her concept art and they aren't actually available. So you can now get this mod to cover up them after she turns good in Act 3. So really cool. I love seeing stuff like that. And next we got the Batty and Birdy body type 1 heads by Andrestea Mood. And I'm just going to go over their shots. I was using these earlier. I think they really showed off what the appearances look like better than I could. Actually, no, I got this figured out. Here we go. So here's the Batty head here. So Batty, and this is on a half elf, and we got Birdy as well. So there's what they look like. I think they did a better job showcasing what they appear like, but yeah, your mileage may vary depending on how you create your characters. They obviously look vastly different depending on your appearances, but you can get some really cool and unique character designs out of these. So Batty and Birdy. And we also got the Speak with Dead Always Highlights Corpses here by Volatio. Now, this is sweet because normally when you speak with dead, it then shows you who you can talk with, and then you have to recast it for this to work. This just changes it so that it always highlights corpses for characters with Speak with the Dead without needing to have the cast to spell. So, nice quality life, and I think this is really sweet. And speaking of the dead, Astarion's Graveyard Scene extended here by Revolution Scribe. Now, I've covered a mod kind of similar to this in the past, but this is going to make it better whenever you do the romance scene with Astarion here. Whenever you go to like the graveyard, this adds in new additional shots so you can see those extra details as part of the normal gameplay. I kept most of the vanilla shots unchanged, so it results in a slightly longer version of the scene. So this will now have a few different things, like Astarion using Cazador's dagger to carve the new date on the tombstone, which was mentioned in the dev notes for the scene. Fix the dialogue options displaying over the grave carving part. They'll now display once he's finished. Minor lighting tweaks, longer kisses with the additional shots, and maximum leg thing. Also, they created the Cuddle Astarion mod, and it actually works together. So if you had this together, it'll cut to that scene next. Pretty cool stuff. And finally, the Kikyo's Mountain Pass Camp Overhaul by Kikyo99. I love their overhauls. This one does require a new game, and that takes a lot of time to set up for one of these videos with the tutorial chest and everything. So I'm just going to go through their shots to give you an idea of what this looks like, because I tried to load into it, and it does require a new game for it to work properly. But beautiful, beautiful location here. You gotta, like, seriously, mind-blowing how nice these look. This makes the Mountain Pass Camp just look so amazing. So yeah, this is definitely worth checking out. Another amazing week for mods. Now, I will be doing another playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 sometime in the next few weeks. I've been very busy lately, so unfortunately I haven't been doing as much Baldur's Gate 3 content. I am very sorry for that. I've been seeing some comments of disappointment. I apologize. It's been very busy, and I will be doing another playthrough there soon, so you can stay tuned for that. Let me know your favorite mod, though, in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and I hope you guys all have a great day.